This is the St Michael's Gate estate in Peterborough. Rob Ronaldo has lived here for more than 3 years with his family, but now their home is unsafe.
This hole is getting big and bigger for the last 3 months.
When the shower is on, water drips through the ceiling near the electrics onto the floor.
God knows how many times I've reported to the new landlord. They promised me about 3 or 4 times that they will send someone down and to fix it, but they never did.
The estate has been taken over by a new landlord. Rob reported the problem in July. It's now October.
At the moment it looks like it can collapse at about any time, really.
Another resident, who doesn't want to reveal her identity, shows me her housing conditions. So there's mould here.
And all the clothes, stink, smell mold.
It's really unpleasant to breathe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Her local doctor has told her her 5-year-old son's asthma might be getting worse due to damp.
We have all respiratory infection, probably inflammation.
And what did the doctor say about the house?
As soon as possible, we have to move out.
Both these people have told the new manager of the properties, Stephen Phillips, that there's faults in their home that need fixing, but nothing's happened. It soon becomes clear why. More than 70 families living here have received letters from the new company saying it wants them out. The entire estate is being cleared, and they could be made homeless to make way for people who are already homeless. The estate has been offered to Peterborough City Council.
We've got something like 170 families in hostels, bed and breakfast accommodation, and by using the properties at St Michael's Gate, we could save the council about £2 million.
And the problem for Peterborough City Council is that if it didn't do this deal, a council outside of Peterborough would house its homeless on the estate instead. Meaning Peterborough City Council would have more homeless people on its doorstep, putting extra strain on its services.
I mean, that's their business model. They buy properties that they couldn't economically rent to people, but if they invite a council in to use them for homeless, the money there is a lot more. That's where they make the money.
And Peterborough City Council can also now claim a subsidy from the government, which will help fund the scheme. Jelena Stevic has lived on the estate for 20 years.
I've got all your stuff.
Oh, thank you.
I've got rheumatoid arthritis, and as a woman with disabilities, to live in an area that I live in and feel safe has been very important to me.
With the support of the other families, she's taking on the council and the landlord to try to stop the deal. She's put together a petition asking the council to reconsider.
We're supposed to be a model community and you are ripping the heart out of it. Why are you allowing something like this to happen to your people? Because we are still your people. And also we're still tenants of Stephen Phillips, which they seem to have forgotten.
Meanwhile, it's becoming clear to tenants like Rob why their property isn't being fixed.
I'm quite pleased to be moving out, considering this problem. I don't think you ever get fixed anyway, because they will never send anyone to fix it.
But the landlord has a legal obligation to ensure their houses are safe for tenants already living there. And the lack of help with these outstanding repairs has made the tenants feel like they're being treated with no respect. So what's wrong with this window? This lady can't air her house properly and the mould is growing. She can't open this window, and yet she asked for it to be fixed 5 months ago.
The guy came, took a photo of the window, but he told us, okay, if you have to move out, just forget it about the window. This isn't your problem now. You have to move out.
So essentially, they've said, we're not going to fix the window because you've got to leave.
And you are paying, rent regularly. We are still paying tenants.
Homes for the people, not for profit!
Homes for the people, not for profit! Homes for the people!
Jelena has submitted her petition to the council, but they signed the deal a day later. She is, however, given 5 minutes to say her piece.
We have asked to be treated like human beings. We also ask the council never to undertake this kind of business proposition again. Peterborough City Council, hang your head in shame, all of you.
So how does Peterborough City Council justify its actions?
This was a decision that we had to make as a council and as a cabinet because the impact was across the whole of Peterborough.
Is it true you signed the commercial contract the day after a petition was handed in?
I believe it is true. I was involved with signing the contract. I wasn't aware the petition had come in at that point. So they are two unrelated issues. We could not stop those families being evicted.
But you can see from residents' point of view why it would make them suspicious and not trust you.
Oh, totally.
And even he has reservations about the way the landlord and its managing agent, Stephen Phillips, operate. How is your relationship with Stephen Phillips?
That's a good question. Professional. I've criticised them. We've said the business model they run is distasteful. We've said we think there is it's a very hard position that the council has been put in. We're between a rock and a hard place.
But do you feel they've held you to ransom?
Certainly between a rock and a hard place.
So what do the landlord and Stephen Phillips think of the outcry against them? I want to ask the bosses if they think the way their company operates is morally sound. Remember, even Peterborough City Council, who's done the deal with them, thinks their business model is distasteful. But so far, no one's been available to comment. And then there's the unsafe living conditions. Is the council aware of them? It's come to light that some of the properties that tenants are living in are not up to scratch, and issues have been raised and they've been ignored. Why would you house even more vulnerable people with landlords that behave like that?
We know that Stephen Phillips have renovated all the properties. If there are specific issues, and I'm not sure you're saying these are at St Michael's Gate or other properties
at
St
St Michael's Gate.
Well, if you can give me details, I'd be very happy to look into that, and I think that's very regrettable. If we hear about anything that's a problem, we will step in.
It's 4 months later. Rob is now in his new home.
As you can see, there's no holes in the ceiling on this one. It's a very comfortable place to live on. I'm very happy.
During the course of making this film, the council's now told us they've offered a new home to the lady in the damp house. And they also issued an enforcement notice on her old property, forcing Stephen Phillips to carry out work on it. It's also in talks with the local government association about making sure councils aren't put in this situation in the future. As for Jelena, with a lot of her neighbours gone, the estate isn't the place she knew and loved. After all the fighting, she's considering moving on.
I think because of it changing so drastically, I don't even know if I would still feel comfortable, safe, secure in my home anymore.
With about 30 homeless families now moved into St Michael's Gate, the council's assured us that all properties new tenants occupy are safe. We still haven't heard from Stephen Phillips. But with its poor track record on repairs, it will now be up to the council to make sure Stephen Phillips maintain the estate properly in the future.